Thank you. Now there's thinking outside the box. You know me, I'm the guy that says, let's design a home that you can be born in, you can die in, bring a wheelchair. What's what I'm meaning? Right from the kid to an old man in I'm a guy. So if we can make a home with 36-inch doors everywhere, big 42-inch door in the front, we make it smarter. But what you're adding to this is thinking about making a home easily cleaned in case of the pandemic, correct?
Correct.
Well, I think another thing I was noticing about this, Don, is the layout itself. Like, even if we just put, not to take away from it, but if we put the pandemic aside for a second and just look at the layout that you created, I mean, there's a great work area. The kitchen, living room, dining room area works very functionally. Home office, I like for people who have kids at home and they're trying to work. There's an adult retreat area, kids safe lounge. The design of the garage is big enough that you can have multiple vehicles, or if you work in it. And then also the drop-off zone, the safe drop-off zone. So, like, pandemic aside, I think you've designed a really great layout for a home.
So Mike likes the layout. I'm liking where you're going with this. And tell me a little bit about this, that it's really post-pandemic. Tell me about it.
Yeah, and post-pandemic is probably not the nice name to call it, but it is what it is. We tag it as live well home. And it basically, we're not going to resolve everything with this plan because there's going to be different lifestyles. Every family's different. But the big thing is how it lives. And so you've got your kid safe lounge, if you will, study area, keeps the kids on one side of the house. You've got your home office zone, and that should be private. We feel like that's, we don't want the kids coming in, while you're on a video conference. So just kind of keeping that more private. And it used to be the home office was the showcase. You'd walk in the front door, maybe you have double doors and you go in. This is kind of more for keeping it private and away from the kids. And then you have
right now. You're in Florida?
Yeah. But we do work all around the country.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you've got your adult retreat, and that's a place where you chill out away from the kids. So with your wine.
Yeah. Have your wine. The kids in one area, they've got their play area. Like, it's really well thought out that way. Got to have the adult areas. Office, I mean, that's like, I suppose. And is this a bungalow?
So it's a ranch house.
A ranch.
Yep.
It's pretty much the same style, right? Ranch style bungalow.
Yeah.
But I actually like ranch style better over bungalow. What do you think, Mr. Holmes?
I mean, tomato. I think they're very similar. It's just almost using different words. But I think back to this layout, there are people that's asking, are there places for storage where you want to put extra food and canned food and stuff like that? And I see you have incorporated that. But from a functionality standpoint, I think this layout is really well done because you have your office, your adult area on the one side, your kids area on the other side. I think a lot of people after this are going to realize that I need to update or upgrade the layout of my home.
Absolutely, yeah. And it just gets the conversation going. We're not solving everything with this layout, but in my own experience and people that we talk to, homeowners and realtors and contractors, and we just found that, hey, the big thing is keeping these zones, getting like things like the clean station, maybe in the garage where you can wash up. You store the shoes, before you go into the house.
Great idea.
Yeah, thank you. And then you've got, your storage, which is oversized for, a nice pantry for supplies, and maybe you have an extra refrigerator in there, things of that nature. So,
well, I'll tell you one thing about this pandemic, and it is something that is going to make people think again for the future. We tend to buy crap to throw it into storage, right? That's just what we do. We buy so much stuff. Like, what the hell are we doing? Well, hey, are you kidding? I've got a garage, a shop. Ask my son. I've got stuff. But that's the mistake. We don't need all this stuff. What we need to do is create that design for the smartest function of our families of the future. If we had that room for food, canned goods, everything else, that makes
Yep.
more sense to me now. And maybe after all of this, we're going to clean up our clutter, and we're going to look at this differently. And maybe we can even do it now because we're all at home. Why not change? Get rid of some crap. They can still drop a bin on your property, and you can throw your stuff out.
Mhm.
But I like where you're going with this. This is not only, thinking of being born and dying in the house, but it's a function of life inside the home.
And we think differently now. I mean, people who were germophobic, who weren't germophobic, are now germophobic. And, it's not, the design's not revolutionary, it's evolutionary.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I think with this whole layout in general, I think, again, it's just a smart layout. It's about, businesses moving forward. I think a lot of people are going to start to work from home. So having a layout like this is just more functional in general. Again, having everything kind of in separate zones. And I know we talk a lot about that, Holmes, having separate zones to work and live in. Having a home office that you can actually work from and, have these type of calls from Zoom calls, whatever you're doing, I think is very important moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yep. And the package drop is a great little feature.
Yes.
That's new. It maybe not totally new, but I mean, it's something that's people are really wanting a place where they can, the delivery folks. I mean, they touch hundreds of packages a day.
Well, they're looking at cameras in the garage, code
Yeah.
that they can punch in. They're looking at. I've seen everything out there. Lock boxes on the outside on your front porch,
Yep.
where they can drop it in the lockbox with a camera on that. But thinking really about the future of that is that less touching, people can actually come in and drop something off. This is brilliant. Don, this is the way of the future, and I like where you're going with it. I'd like to talk to you more about this, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's stay in touch on this, and when we're in
will.
Florida, because I know it's going to be sometime soon, we'll come see you.
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Have a good one. Mr. Holmes.
Now, you've run a little long. I've got a bit of a bone to pick with you here because my live was supposed to start at 2 p.m. Now I'm late. And I know you don't like it when people are late.
I apologize. So I will say goodbye to everyone, including you. You get live because people are waiting for you. Look, everyone, thank you so much. Keep writing back and forth. Let's see the pictures. We're going to intertwine. And if we go over, we go over.
We go over. It happens.
Bye, everyone.
I'll be on HGTV live right now.